Well, after back-to-back away games, we are back at King Power Stadium. Leicester City facing Blackburn Rovers in the Championship. It's another early kick-off on a Saturday, 12:30. We've just ticked over into the afternoon, haven't we, as we build up now to kick-off in just under half an hour. Welcome along to Matchday Live with me, Dan Bates. David Nugent, before his huge game for Anstey Nomads later, is in the studio. Gerry Taggart is also here. Matt Elliott, the birthday boy, on commentary duty today, but it's just the three of us for now in the studio as we build up to kick off. How are you both doing?
Yeah, good. I'm just noticed David's attire here. You know, he looks like he could be ready to make a comeback.
Yeah.
But then I realise he's going to Anstey Nomads after this for their game. So yeah, looking very sporty, very athletic still.
I'm ready to go. No, obviously, boots are not back on, just a bit of coaching, helping Conrad out, who's the manager at the minute. 3 out of 3 since I've been there, so make it 4 out of 4 today, hopefully. Straight back from here down to Nomads, straight on the sideline.
Barking orders.
Barking orders, mate,
yeah.
Telling the players what to do.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop with Conrad, isn't it?
Yeah, Conrad's good to be fair. He does not shut up on the sideline. But that's just a typical keeper in, shouting all the time. I'm the more calm, collected kind of guy. Don't need to shout, just tell him
Point
proper.
fingers.
Yeah.
Move your arm. Like, just
I feel like you were a shouter in your coaching days.
Centre halves
Gerry.
have to be, don't they? Organising.
But shouting encouragement.
Yes, the right things,
There you
Gerry.
go.
The right
Shouting
things.
encouragement.
If you've got any questions for these guys or your comments ahead of kickoff, please do get involved in the YouTube comments section today. Possibly one of the big talking points could be on the team news. Let's take a look at that then. Back-to-back defeats, obviously, last week was difficult to take, wasn't it, for Martí Cifuentes and the Leicester City supporters. So following that game against Millwall a week ago, Martí Cifuentes has decided to make 4 changes to that team. It's kind of in all positions, really. Out go Thomas, Ramsey, Monga and Ayew. In come Christensen, Samare, Mavididi and Carranza. It's the first start since the Wrexham game at the end of September for Steffi Mavididi, and it's Victor Christensen's first start of the season as well. So it's Stolarczyk in goal, Pereira, Akoli, Vestergaard and Christensen across the back 4. Samari and Winks at the midfield 2, with Fatawu, James and Mavididi supporting Julian Carranza. On the bench, Begovic, Fass, Ayew, Decordova-Reid, Chowdhury, Daka, Skip, Luke Thomas and Silko Thomas as well. Gerry, we'll start with you for your reaction on the team news. I guess possibly the biggest eyebrow raiser, maybe purely because it's his first start of the season, is Christensen at left back.
Yeah, I think, you know, looking at the 2 changes on that left-hand side, it was a bit of a tough afternoon last weekend, wasn't it? Down that left-hand side. I think as far as Jeremy Monk is concerned, you know, I think it's the time's right to bring him out, try and protect him a little bit. I think obviously people are expecting big things from Jeremy, but he's still only a kid. When things aren't going well as a team and you're looking to someone like him to change a game for you, it's too much to ask for. So I think it was right to bring him out. Obviously, Luke Thomas, you know, made a few mistakes last weekend at left back, but he'll be back. So yeah, Christian comes in, just trying to keep it solid. You know, they lost by the 1 goal last weekend, and it was down to a bit of a mistake. So hopefully they can rectify that by bringing Christensen in today.
It's just trying to find the winning formula as well. You know, they've lost the last 2 away from home. You know, a home game, it's probably easy to bring them in the home game, innit? To play new players. You know, home fans behind each other, behind the team, and you know, Christian's got a chance to come in and impress. You know, Mavididi, you know, he's not had the best season, he's been out injured for quite a while, but he gets an opportunity to come back in. So I think Samare in midfield as well, a bit of steel in there, a bit more energy. You know, so no, I think the changes had to be made. You know, 2 defeats, and now we need to get back on track with a home win.
We've had a lot of comments in. Thank you, everyone, on YouTube. W. Spears is happy to see Christensen in at left back. He says where he belongs. Bubba says, morning all. Obviously, we need 3 points today. Blessing says get Nugent up front. So clearly, as Gerry says, you're ready to play. You could be up there. Manifest PR and Marketing says hopefully we can reset after this little blip. And we've had a question from Jikan who mentioned the fact that Monga's had the flu this week.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is obviously why we see him drop out of the squad completely. I think maybe, Gerry, you might have been right. We might have seen MATCHDAY regardless from the start. But Jikan does ask, would you maybe try changing the formation occasionally? Maybe trying a 3-5-2?
Yeah,
we saw Fass at left back after.
I think for me, I think, the performances for me have been decent, have been good. And yes, there's been the odd one, say, the first half at Hull away wasn't great. But other than that, and for me, I mentioned it last week, is if your strikers aren't scoring goals, that's where the problem lies. So how about getting two on the pitch at the same time? And maybe, we did it last week.
4-4-2, Gerald's he saying, yeah?
Or maybe a 3-5-2. Maybe a 3-5-2. With Ramsey being injured as well and not having that, say, attacking option that you do with Ramsey and James, then, just switch it up slightly. But we need to get the strikers scoring goals. If they had 5 or 6 goals between them, never mind each, we'd be in the top 2 or 3, with those extra goals. And that, for me, is the issue. And you can't keep relying on, I said it, Abdul, putting screamers in from 25 yards, or Jordan James putting screamers in from the other side from 25 yards. We just need a scrappy little tap in, for one of the strikers, and then that hopefully will get things going. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Hopefully that'll happen today.
Well, if you're going to be competitive in this league and be up there, you need that striker who's going to score 15, 20 goals, don't you? The ones who just stay in the box, little fox in the box. Getting these tap-ins, headers from a yard out, just hitting them going into the back of the net. We haven't really seen that this season. And as Gerald says, we do, out the 3 strikers that we've got, there's not many goals between them. So why not put 2 up there, be a bit more of a threat in the box. It's an option for Mart. He's got players there who can play 2 up top. But whether he goes against his principles, he wants to play this formation, it's up to Jordan James now and the wingers to try and get forward and help, Carranza, in the box.
So you think there's been too much of a reliance on the other players then?
I think so, yeah.
A lot of
our pressure on the pitch and where coming from the wings and Jordan James breaking forward. So if Abdul, a lot of the time, he's going to cut inside, so it's hard for Carranza to get in the box. So he's not going to get across from that side. On the Steffi on the other side as well, wants to come inside on his right foot. So when the 2 wingers are coming inside, it's either you're following on the shots or make little slide runs down the side of the centre half, which Carranza's got to do. You just got to be patient. Keep making the runs, and you might get frustrated, but one time that he plays the ball through and he doesn't make that run, that's your opportunity going to try and score.
It's important that everyone chips in with goals, and they have been doing, but it's just like we say at the top end of the pitch. Unfortunately, at the minute, it just hasn't happened for whatever reason. And as David will tell you, that's what you're paid for, predominantly, is to put the ball in the back of the net. That's why they get all the headlines, they get all the big moves, all the money, because they stick the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. And that is, and believe you me, it's all right me saying it, it's not as easy as it looks, but that's your job. Yeah. And that's how your team gets momentum, confidence, by one bloke poking his toe out and it ended up in the back of the net. What comes off his knee, his shoulder, his backside, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's what gives your team that confidence and momentum to move on, if you can do it on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah, you made a career out of scruffing them in, didn't you?
So you've got to be there to score, haven't you? You have to be patient. You don't get many chances in a game.
Yeah.
But you got to keep making them runs to get in behind, and someone you might come inside, shot keeper saves, you've got to follow in, try and get the rebounds. When you've got 2 wingers that are coming inside, it's hard for Carranza, I said it before, but you just have to either gamble on the keeper, because they're going to come inside and shoot. We haven't got wingers. Usually you have one winger that comes inside, one winger that stays out wide and gets crosses in. Back in my day, I always had Riyad coming inside shooting, so I know I had to follow in on the keeper, or Lloyd Dyer. I knew to get in the box, so he's going to get to the byline, cross the ball. With 2 wingers coming in, it's hard for Carranza to get into the box. He's got to instinct follow in or just get little tap-ins. Yeah. Just instinct, just get in the box.
Simple.
The ball will fall to you eventually.
Speaking of wingers that cut inside and shoot and creating headlines, Abdul Fatawu. We've spoken a lot about his documentary, haven't we? That we've brought out in-house media team documentary with Abdul Fatawu is now live on YouTube. It went up last night. There was a big event at King Power Stadium as well this week with a Q&A with the man himself. So obviously not one for now, as we're 20 minutes away from kickoff, but maybe one for later on this Saturday afternoon. This could be some good watching for you. Here's the trailer to the Abdul Fatawu Back Stronger documentary.
Hello, I'm going to release a new banger called ACL. Are you ready?
Abdul Fatawu has been ruled out for the rest of the season with an ACL injury.
Different feelings.
Stress, mood swings. It's so boring. I like your drip today. Give me like more energy.
God gives you what you can't handle.
Fatal is a wonderful kid.
Abdul Fatawu Back Stronger, the trailer for that, which is now live on YouTube. I do sort of want to tell everybody, please do go watch that, because it is absolutely fantastic and a really good insight into what goes in, I guess, to the recovery, Gerry, for a top level footballer that gets a horrible knee injury like that. Yeah, and I haven't had the experience. I know what he's been through, and it's not easy. So yeah, fair play to him, and it's a fantastically made documentary, I have to say. But I would say that, yeah, because my son made it. It was filmed brilliantly, wasn't it? But yeah, it's great insight. Yeah. Great insight to anybody that's interested in what, it's not all, headlines and champagne and whatever. When things do go wrong as a professional footballer, you have to work twice as hard as you do when you're fit, believe you me. Well, I think there's one last bit on the doc, actually. From watching it, Nuge, you see, kind of as a fan, you guys will think differently having seen it, but as a fan, you just think, okay, a player's returning from injury, he'll be okay, whatever, suddenly he's back in training. You don't really think about him or them, but then having watched that, you see how much they're just on their own at the training ground. Yeah, exactly. For almost weeks and weeks and months on end. They're not really seeing their other team. And summer as well. Summertime when the lads are off, for pre-season, going away on holiday, he's in the training ground still, working out, getting that knee stronger, getting his legs stronger to come back even better than he was when he first started. So, a lot of people don't see the lonely days. They just see him, he's injured, he'll be back next year. And then when he's back, he goes, everyone's back. But no one sees the hard work. But in the documentary, you see all the stuff that he's gone through to come back even stronger than he is now. Yeah, including a trip to Ghana as well. So, like I said, I do encourage absolutely everybody to go and watch Abdul Fatawu Back Stronger, which is on the LCFC YouTube channel, live now as we speak. Let's concentrate again on the team and on that game last week. Gerry, you were down at the Den, weren't you? And it was a disappointing afternoon, of course, a disappointing week following that Hull defeat as well. What went wrong, do you think, at the Den? Not a lot for me. I know people may totally disagree, but I thought actually Leicester played okay, played well against a really well-organised, difficult team in Millwall. Millwall aren't at the top of the league for no reason, by the way. And it was the same. One mistake cost them. It was just a switching off at a vital time. It was a long pass. Bang, he's in behind, go. Good finish. And Leicester controlled the game for parts. But as I've already mentioned, nothing gave up at the top of the pitch. They created chances, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But as far as the build-up play and controlling the game, then Leicester had large parts of it against a team who, are third, something like that there at the moment. Yeah, so this was it. The game. All right, yes, there was a penalty as well, but as far as the ball going in the back of the net, that was it. That one little passage of play cost them. I've played against under Preston, and he will go through every little fine detail in meetings to get everything spot on. He's like a perfectionist, So for him, it was going to be a tough game no matter what. Yeah. And going to Millwall no matter what is a hard game. I used to hate going there. The fans are really on top of you, giving you abuse and stuff like that. But I think you've got to be tougher in them circumstances. We were creating chances, just not putting them away, like Gerry said. If we get that strike, like we said earlier, scoring them goals, the game would have been a lot easier. But if you're not scoring goals and concede sloppy goals, you're going to get hurt and punished, and we did against Millwall. I think the difference with Millwall this season, say,
last season or the season before is they've simplified their game. They play to their strengths. And, they've got two big centre halves at the back who want to go and head the ball, want to go and rough up the centre forward. You've got your midfielders who are like two pistons in midfield. We call it the engine room. But all they did was run up and down all day long, and you had a little bit of quality on the wings. Very, very simple style of football, but so well organised and everybody knowing what they did. And that was the difference for me at the end. That's why, I'm not saying that's why they won, but that's why Millwall are where they are in the league, because they're a very well-oiled machine.
We can take a look at the Leicester chances. I say chances, more moments really going forward, Gerry, wasn't there? There were a few, there wasn't really that one glaring one where you thought he has to score there, but there were moments where on another day this effort doesn't get blocked, for example.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's great. Proper defending.
It's great defending, Dan. I have to tell you. I remember seeing it at the time, and I thought, wow, that is proper old school defending, putting everything on the line. But you look at the amount of opportunity. I think there was one who was it got the line and scored one across the face of goal? Ramsey. And there's no one at the back post to tap it in. And these are all about your decision makings in these little moments.
This was probably the closest Leicester went. I think the
overhead kick. Yeah, it's a great effort. He's very unlucky there, to be honest with you.
Every one of these chances, though, it's never a free chance. It's either they're getting blocked or they're under pressure. Or if it's a 30-yard shot, you take that. If you score from 30 yards, you think, oh, fair play. But it's never like a chance where you think, oh, you should have scored. You're always being put under pressure. And at the minute, we just need to get in better positions on the pitch where it's an easier chance kind of thing. But it's getting the players to do that.
But you can't say we didn't create. Or we didn't get in there half of the pitch, and it was like, you're just showing a lot of opportunities that Leicester created last week, and all right, they couldn't finish them off. And that's partly down to the opposition, but there was those one or two opportunities, i.e. like the one where Ramsey scored it across the face of goal in the first half, and there's no one at the back post. There's not a Millwall player, but more importantly, there wasn't a Leicester City player to say thank you very much. Bang. There's one though. You
need at least 3 of your players in the box. You need the advanced midfielder running into the box. You got your striker and the opposite winger coming in. That's a given in football. Yeah, if you get across into the box, you need at least 3 attacking the ball. Otherwise, you're never going to score.
No. Well, hopefully Leicester can turn it around then. Marty Cifuentes himself has said that this week during his pre-match press conference ahead of this game against Blackburn today at King Power Stadium. Basically, he said it was a really disappointing week, those back-to-back away defeats to Hull and Millwall, but he's confident in this group that they can turn it around.
Yeah, I think that it's very easy to be very disappointed after last week. I'm very critical with ourselves about our performances, so there is definitely room to improvement. At the same time, I'm aware about how championship is. In weeks like this, you can really lose a lot of positions at the table, but at the same time, it can go the other way. And that's what my focus is. I think that we need to make sure that we understand what are the things that we must improve, what are the things that we are doing well, because it's not that we are miles away. So we are certainly doing some things well, and we just need to keep pushing, keep improving as a team. And what gives me confidence is that the team has been training really well this week, that the players are performing in the trainings, that we need to translate this into the matches, into the games. But there is definitely not a feeling of we are okay. We want to improve the situation.
Marty Cifuentes there, of course, speaking ahead of this game with Blackburn, which is now just over 10 minutes away here at King Power Stadium. A game, of course, that you can follow with us as you are doing here on Fox's Hub. There are a number of packages available throughout this season for you guys to follow the action with us, whether that's watching. There are monthly game passes available for you now. They're on sale now. Similar to the Listen Live monthly passes as well, for those of you particularly in the UK. Makes sense to get those now, considering we're at the start of November. How scary is that, by the way? Time going very, very quickly. £25 a month for your game passes there. So in certain territories, you can watch pretty much all the games with us. There are a number of... Well, we've got every game on Matchday Live, of course, as ever, including this one with Blackburn and another one again on Tuesday against Middlesbrough. 2025-26 members and season ticket holders can also win a signed 25-26 away shirt this November. So this is a new prize for this month. All you have to do to be in with a chance of winning that away shirt, which you can see modelled there by Fatawu, James Hamza and Jordan Ayew, is download and sign into the LCFC app and enter via your My Account section. If you're not a member, head over to lcfc.com/memberships to sign up. We're building up now. We're getting closer and closer to kick-off, Nuge, against a Blackburn side that they've had some very mixed results this season as well. So this is the type of game you feel that Cifuentes and the Leicester group will be going in thinking this is a real opportunity today. Come on, let's go out there and make a statement.
Yeah, especially after two away defeats. You're back on your home turf. You want to go out and put a performance on. Get the fans back on side. It's a chance. Blackburn, bit of an iffy start to the season, not doing pretty well, but it's down to us and the players and the manager to go out there, put a performance on. Get in the faces. Straight from the off. And just get the fans back on side. It's been, I keep saying that, but the last two games haven't been good enough. The results haven't been good enough. And it's down for us now to home form, get back on track, get the win, get 3 points. That's all that matters. Yeah. Performance at the minute, I'm not really bothered about performance. If you just get 3 points on the line, get that confidence back installed into the team, and we need that today.
Yeah, they couldn't have wished really for a better game. You'd rather be playing Blackburn at home, or like fourth from bottom at the minute, Blackburn, rather than say a Coventry at home. Away Coventry or a Middlesbrough or whatever. So I think, as David said, it's vitally important that they focus in that this is a really good opportunity to get back to winning ways, and you can't afford to let this opportunity slip. That's the main thing here. You take control of the game. You've got the quality on the pitch. You need to take control of this game, take it by the scruff of the neck, and drive Blackburn into the ground and get the 3 points. It's almost, I'm not going to say it's a must-win, but it's seeming that way. If you're going to do anything this season, this is the type of game they have to come away with 3 points.
Yeah, big 3 points needed today.
Yeah, massively. It's not going to be an easy game. Blackburn aren't going to come in and go, it is 3 points. Even though they're like the fourth from bottom, it's still going to be a hard game. You still got to go out there and perform. Everyone needs to play well. The players can't think, fourth bottom, it's an easy win. Mentality has to be right on from the start, when you need to go out there.
Yeah, right, we're building up nearer and nearer now to kick-off. That means we can hand you over to our commentary team this afternoon. John Dunn is alongside birthday boy Matt Elliott. Before we hear from those guys, here's a little explainer of what is available to you on Fox's Hub, whether that's to listen or to watch with us this afternoon.
If you are watching on lcfc.com, just sit back and relax. If you are watching on social media, the live stream will finish shortly. If you want to continue enjoying our coverage, you'll need to head over to lcfc.com/Fox's Hub and purchase one of our game passes. If you are watching in a territory where the game isn't live on TV, you'll be able to watch a live video stream on Fox's Hub. Please visit lcfc.com/territories to check. If you can't find your location, live audio commentary is still available. You'll need to have an lcfc.com account before you purchase your Game Pass. If you already have one, please sign in and select your product at lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. Select the Buy button and you'll be taken to the payment page. Once you've followed the simple payment steps, press Continue at the bottom of the screen and you'll be taken to the Fox's Hub homepage. If you purchased a video pass, please select Watch Live from the Fox's Hub drop-down menu. If you purchased a Listen Live pass, please select Listen Live. If you purchased a seasonal or monthly video pass and the game is not being shown in your territory, please select Listen Live. If you are having a payment or technical issue, please email Leicester TV Support at streamamg.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the match.
Welcome to Foxes Hub, welcome to King Power Stadium, and after 2 games on the road, Leicester City return to home soil as we enter the month of November. Will that spark City's return to winning ways?